A client once threatened legal action against me after I successfully breached their unhackable security system. Their lawyers claimed I had exceeded my authorized scope and accessed systems I wasn't supposed to touch. Without proper documentation, I could have faced serious legal consequences and the end of my career. This is what myth number 7 gets catastrophically wrong, and it's why documentation isn't optional. If you haven't watched part 1, the link is in the description, but you can follow along here because these next 5 myths are where real consequences happen. These are the operational myths that separate professional red teamers from those who end up in handcuffs. Hi operators, welcome to the channel. I'm HaxrByte. I'm a red team operator, penetration tester, and ethical hacker with over 20 years of working experience in cybersecurity. In part 1 of this series, we destroyed 5 foundational myths about what red teaming is. Today, we're exposing the 5 operational myths about how to actually execute red team engagements without getting fired, sued, or arrested. These aren't theoretical concerns. Red teamers have been fired for going beyond their scope, arrested for actions they thought were authorized, sued for millions in damages, blacklisted from the industry for unprofessional conduct, and in every single case, it was because they believed one of the 5 myths I'm about to destroy. By the end of this video, you'll understand the operational realities that 95% of security professionals never learn, usually because they learn them the hard way. Let's get into it. Myth number 6. Stealth is always the priority. Never get caught seems like the golden rule of red teaming, right? Not so fast. Here's a surprise for many. Being stealthy isn't always the best way to do red teaming. Let me explain why. When testing an organization's security, it's important to check more than just access. You also need to see if their detection systems and blue team can catch suspicious activity. Making noise deliberately can be incredibly valuable. It's like testing a burglar alarm. You need to actually trigger it before you know it works. I'll give you a real-world example. On a recent engagement, we ran 2 parallel attacks. The first was very stealthy. It used well-designed payloads and was highly obfuscated, super sneaky, to blend in with regular traffic. The second, we deliberately used known malware signatures and common attack patterns. Guess what? The client's security team noticed the loud attack immediately, but they missed our quiet approach. That finding was way more valuable than if we just stayed quiet the whole time. Often the key test is how well a company's incident response team works. Can they detect an attack in progress? How quickly do they respond? Do they follow their documented procedures? You can't answer these questions if you've never set off any alarms. The key is knowing when to be loud and when to be quiet. It's not just about staying hidden. It's about testing all security controls. And that's something many red teamers get completely wrong. This leads to a controversial question. Should red teamers actually try to get caught sometimes? The answer might shock you when we get to myth number 9. But first, let's talk about documentation. Myth number 7. Documentation is just an administrative burden. If you think documentation is just busy work that gets in the way of real red teaming, you're setting yourself up for disaster. Let me be clear, documentation is not just paperwork. It's your shield and proof of value. I've learned this lesson the hard way. Early in my career, a client accused us of going beyond our scope and causing system damage. You know what saved us? Our detailed documentation showing exactly what actions we took and when. But documentation serves an even bigger purpose. Every engagement is a learning opportunity, not just for the client, but for you as a red teamer. Documenting your methods, successes, and failures builds a knowledge base. This knowledge makes you more effective. I still look back on notes from jobs I did 5 years ago when I faced similar situations. Your documentation should include these key points. First, keep detailed logs of every action. Note timestamps, commands executed, and systems accessed. This protects you legally and helps blue teams understand your attack path. Second, gather clear evidence on your findings. This includes screenshots, exported data, and packet captures. Finally, document your methodology clearly. This helps the client fix the vulnerabilities you found. The deliverable isn't just a report, it's a roadmap for improvement. I document an engagement to help the client understand what I found. I explain how I found it, why it matters, and most importantly, how to fix it. That's what makes a red team report useful, or just a paperweight. One helps boost security while the other collects dust. Documentation saved my career win. This connects directly to our next myth, about myth number 8. The best red teams operate without constraints. Hollywood came up with the idea that elite red teamers have no rules. In reality, operating without clear boundaries is unprofessional and dangerous. Let's discuss a key point many red teamers overlook: the need for rules of engagement and legal limits. This isn't just red tape. It sets professional red teamers apart from criminals. Every legitimate red team engagement needs clear written rules of engagement. These rules specify what you can and cannot do, what systems are in scope, what attack techniques are allowed, what data you can access. These are not just suggestions. They are legal limits that keep you and your client safe. I've seen red teamers face big issues because they believed no limits meant better testing. An operator chose to test physical security. He broke into an office after hours, and he did this without getting prior approval. Guess what happened? He spent the night in jail, and his company nearly got sued. All because he didn't respect boundaries. Professional red teaming means you must have clear permission for every action. You need documentation of that permission, and you need to understand the legal implications of your activities. Are you testing systems in multiple countries? There might be different laws that apply to your activities. Are you handling sensitive data? There might be regulatory requirements you need to follow. Remember, the real attacker might not have limits, but you do. And those limits aren't weaknesses. They are the foundation of professional red teaming. Remember that company I mentioned earlier with the adversarial mindset? Here's what happened when the red team ignored constraints. Myth number 9. Success means not getting caught. If you think a successful red team operation is one where you were never detected, you've missed the entire point. Let me share what defines success in red teaming. It may surprise you. Success isn't about how many systems you hacked or if you went unnoticed. It's measured by how much stronger an organization's security is after your help. Think about it this way. If you break into a system and no one learns anything from it, have you really succeeded? I've watched red teams celebrate after breaching critical infrastructure unnoticed. But then I see the client didn't gain anything useful from their exercise. That's not success, that's just showing off. Real success metrics are simple. Did the blue team confirm their detection skills? Did they identify gaps in their security controls? Did they improve their incident response procedures? These are the outcomes that matter. I've had situations where we were spotted fast, but the client's team followed their procedures well and contained the threat. That made it a big success. The best red team engagements I've led resulted in real improvements. This includes updated security policies, better monitoring systems, trained response teams, validated security controls. This is what success means in professional red teaming. It's not about winning, it's about helping everyone defend against the real threats. This brings us to perhaps the most damaging myth of all. Myth number 10. Red teaming is about making security look bad. The most dangerous misconception is that red teaming exists to embarrass security teams and prove systems are vulnerable. Let me clarify. Red teaming isn't meant to embarrass security teams or play gotcha. The adversarial mindset misses the whole point of our work. The strongest red team efforts I've seen came from close work with the client security teams. Think of it like this. When you visit a doctor for a checkup, they're not there to prove you're sick. They're working with you to identify potential issues before they become serious problems. That's exactly what professional red teaming is about. We're not trying to show off our skills and how many systems we can break. We're here to help organizations build stronger defenses. I've seen firsthand how destructive it can be when red teams take an adversarial approach. Their toxic relationship stops them from using any findings, even if they find vulnerabilities. The security team gets defensive, communication fails, and the entire exercise turns counterproductive. Instead, the best red teams team up with the blue teams and security staff. We share our knowledge and explain our methods. We help them understand what we found and show them how to fix it. Also, we teach ways to prevent similar issues in the future. It's about building capabilities, not tearing them down. When I lead a red team engagement, I make it clear from day one that we are all on the same side. We don't want to make anyone look bad. Our goal is to help the organization find and fix security gaps. We want to do this before real attackers can take advantage. That's the difference between a professional red team and just another pen tester with the ego. The truth is that effective red teaming has a completely different objective that most experts never mention. Reality check. What real red teaming actually is. Now that we've busted all 10 myths, let's talk about what red teaming really means in the professional world. Let me break down what professional red teaming actually means in practice. It's mainly about mimicking real threats to assess an organization's full security stance. This includes not just technical controls, but also people, processes, and procedures. Real red teaming follows a structured methodology. We start with thorough reconnaissance and planning. We develop specific objectives based on realistic threat scenarios. Next, we carry out well-planned operations. These may include social engineering, physical security tests, and technical attacks. We coordinate everything to meet our goals. But here's what many people miss. The value isn't the attack itself. We help the organizations see their weaknesses and strengthen their defenses. We give you clear insights on security gaps. We check current controls and test response plans in real-life scenarios. Professional red teamers are teachers as much as they are attackers. We document everything carefully. We explain our methods clearly. We also work with blue teams to boost security. The best red teamers aren't just good with tech, they're also great communicators. They understand offensive and defensive security principles well. Most importantly, real red teamers is about continuous improvement. It's not just a one-time task. It's part of a bigger security program. This program grows as threats change and organizations develop. Every engagement should leave an organization better prepared to face real-world threats. Understanding these principles is what separates amateur red teamers from professionals who make six-figure incomes helping secure major organizations. There you have it, all 10 red teaming myths completely destroyed across both parts of the series. If you watched both videos, you now understand professional red teaming at a level that most people claiming to be experts never reach. Here's the hard truth. Most people claiming to be red teamers are operating on dangerous misconceptions that I've just debunked. If you're serious about red teaming as a career, or improving your organization's security posture, you need to abandon these myths and embrace the reality. Now here's what to do next. First, if you haven't watched part 1, go watch it. The link is in the description and pinned in the first comment. You need both halves to get the complete picture of what red teaming really is. Secondly, drop a comment below. What myth did you find the most fascinating? Or which one completely surprised you? Remember, in security, what you don't know isn't just hurting you. It's the exact vulnerability attackers are counting on. Thanks for watching. I'm HaxrByte, and I'll see you in the ghost shell.